Sister's been kissed, your father's been laid to rest in the cemetery. Cemetery, cemetery, cemetery. Everybody come on, baby, come on home. I wish you were here when I walked into the room. Nice recovery. As you might have guessed, your sister's been kissed, your father's been laid to rest in the cemetery. Cemetery, cemetery, cemetery. Everybody come on.
No trip to 13th Avenue is complete without a cup of coffee, and the best coffee is down here at the Matchbox Coffee Shop. I'm lucky enough here to have Missy and Chris, some of the co-owners. Missy, tell us a little bit why people want to come to Matchbox for a cup of coffee.
First of all, I think we're all organic, fair trade beans, low prices, friendly staff.
Yeah. So Chris, how long have you been involved with Matchbox?
Right around 2 years.
Okay.
Yep.
And we were just talking that business has really picked up for you.
It has. It's progressively busier. People are doing good, getting out there.
And what is your specialty here? What is really, really good?
People like the mochas.
Yeah, mochas, Americanos, cold press. Best cold press in town, I've heard.
What is it about Northeast Minneapolis that made you gravitate here and start a business?
It was started before us by other people. And the collective just gets handed down to whoever's working, they run it. It's fabulous. The people here are great.
So it's the people that make 13th Avenue and Northeast so special.
It's a lot of the same people and a lot of the local business owners that come in here, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I go to the bike shop to get my bike fixed, and they come here to get coffee. And, you know, we always see Adam from the record store over here and all those guys. And so it's kind of nice, you know, you always just see everybody, you know.
It's like Mr. Rogers' neighborhood.
Yeah.
And it's like your friends are coming in the door because you know them so well. They come in every day.
So that sense of a small community, that closeness.
Yeah. So Michael, I just want you to know, everyone at the station, everyone watching, come to the Matchbox. We're at 1306 2nd Street. Best mochas in town. We'll take care of you. It's all organic. Stop at the record store while you're here.
So I got a couple founding fathers of the Northeast art scene and really 13th Avenue, John Holman and Nick. John, what is it that attracted you to Northeast Minneapolis?
I moved into the keg house of the brewery in '02 and had a beauty shop and a gallery. I used to be downtown in the 20th century. But when I was a kid, I grew up in Blaine, and we used to ride our bicycles down University Avenue. And you know, as long as we could go as far as we wanted, as long as we could get home for dinner. So 105th and University to the brewery wasn't really that much of a trek. And yeah, there used to be a beautiful park there, and you know, there were deer, and you could probably sneak a beer.
Sure.
And
then you saw the 331, which was kind of a rough little bar at the time.
Yeah, well, I've been in the art business for 25 years. Trying to sell art, giving away alcohol, and I thought, why do you do it like that?
Bad business plan.
Bad business plan, yeah.
Totally.
But I love this little business node because there's no franchise, there's no corporate. It's not anywhere USA. There's there. It has character. Everybody, they're all owner occupied and run little businesses. There's service and entertainment, and there's art galleries and goods, and we got record store and anyway, yeah.
It all works.
It all works.
And Nick, Rogue Buddha Gallery, how'd you get that idea?
The gallery started, I had a studio downtown, which I started opening up for art openings, and got kicked out because it wasn't a legitimate.
You got kicked out of downtown.
I got kicked out of downtown, moved to Southeast actually, but I was on the southeast side of East Hennepin, facing the promised land of Northeast. I was born and raised in Northeast, a couple miles from here. So I've seen the transition from the neighborhood changing into kind of a cultural hotbed. So the Rogue Buddha itself came about. There was a club downtown called the Rogue. I was also really into Buddhism at the time, and I thought the two concepts merged pretty well together, and I wanted to show artwork that wasn't necessarily getting visibility and wasn't accepted by the higher end art establishment. So that was.
So you participated in the Art of Whirl in the first Thursdays?
I do, yeah. Art of Whirl as far back as 10 years ago. So even though I was on the southeast side of East Hennepin, they let me squeak into the Northeast Art of Whirl.
John, what do you see for the future of 13th Avenue here?
I think it's really the last, as I can tell, it's the last little node of commercial that hasn't been sort of gentrified. It's still reasonable for somebody like myself or Nick or kids that have a coffee shop or the little used clothing store to take a few pennies and open up a place and do a business and service the folks that live in the neighborhood. And if people come from out, there's even some stuff like with the restaurant, people come from other neighborhoods come into the restaurants, and a little bit for the entertainment too. But it's really the last sort of ungentrified neighborhood,
Great.
I think, in the Twin Cities.
And Nick, as a De La Salle guy, you're kind of an explorer and an adventurer.
Oh yeah. Personally, I'm going to make the Rogue Buddha Gallery into a Starbucks. First thing I'm going to do. Then buy the 331, turn that into a Gap. No. 13th, I think, is just going to keep getting better and better. The businesses that are here are going to get stronger, more popularity. Like John said, people are coming from all over the Twin Cities now to go to the restaurants, go to the bars, the galleries. I think this neighborhood is really getting a name for itself as being a cultural hotspot to come to, spend a Friday, Saturday.
So the Ritz Theater has a lot to do with that?
Yep, Ritz is really good too. They do dance and theater, and they do music, they do film. And the other thing that the 13th Avenue thing has, it's got a really good mix. It's not just food, it's not just entertainment, it's not just art. There's retail. It's got downtown. There was a gallery scene downtown, but it was all galleries, and it lasted 10 years, 15 years. It's this neighborhood has, or this at least 13th Avenue has a mix. You can come and you can spend the entire day. It's like Disneyland. It has you can shop, you can eat, you can come in for lunch. It's an all-day deal. It's everything. It's got everything. Yeah.
Great. 13th Avenue offers so many services and unique little shops. I'm here with a proprietress of Keys Barbershop, Kelly. How you doing, Kelly?
I'm doing great, Mike.
Can you tell us a little bit about Keys?
This barbershop, this place has been a barbershop since 1920.
Oh, so almost 100 years.
Almost 100 years, yes. And Art Boyke is the current owner, and he's been cutting hair in this location for 52 years. He also has another barber, Doug, who's been here 19 years, and they're both significantly past their 70s and have done barbering for a very long time. 52 years Art has been cutting hair in this shop. I relocated here from Stillwater a year ago. Decided that I wanted to do something that I wanted to do when I graduated from high school, which was cut hair.
And what is it that drew you to 13th Avenue to Northeast Minneapolis?
I worked at Aveda in the late 80s. So I'm familiar with Northeast. My best friend grew up here in Northeast. So I had a familiarity with the neighborhood. What drew me here is many things. The great restaurants, the theater, the arts. It's a sense of community that I think is dying. I mean, I don't think we see many communities like this anymore. I love how diverse it is.
The vibrancy that is this, the way people get along with each other.
Exactly, yes.
So Kelly, what are some of the services that one could get here in Boyke's? Do you still pull teeth anymore?
No, don't pull teeth. But I mean, you are right, that was absolutely done in the late 1800s. Barbers really, they pulled teeth and they did something called bloodletting. But no, I don't do that, but I will shave you. We have a electric latherizer, so it's hot lather, steam towels, and I also, as I'm new to this business, this shop, I am offering a free scalp massage with a haircut or shave. I am committed to building this business, which I'm taking over in December, and hope that by doing this, more people from the community will know that I'm here, and again, really committed to being a part of the community and helping it grow with myself, however I can do that.
Great.
You are looking at photographs of the customers that have been coming into this shop for many, many years. Art and I figured that the average number of years that his customers have been coming here is 27 years, 50 years, 60 years. Art's father was the original owner of the shop, Roman Boyke. So I have cut gentlemen's hair who actually started with Roman Boyke. People love to come in here and see their picture on the wall, so it is a tradition that's not going to go away and one that I will continue. They might be placed a little differently, so you'll have to make sure that you stay tuned and come back and see the remodel of the shop. The new name after the first of the year will be Sharp Barbers.
Continuing our tour of 13th Avenue, we're with Lynn Olson. Lynn, thank you for having MCN come in to look at your wonderful courtyard here and talk a little bit about Frank Stone Gallery.
Well, thank you, Michael. It's really always a pleasure to talk about 13th Avenue. We started this gallery 13 years ago, 14 years ago, and there was hardly anything here, the Modern Cafe, a few other things. And the neighborhood has grown in galleries, art galleries, restaurants, furniture stores. We even have a vintage clothing store now. And so when people come here, and we always tell them, plan to spend the day, because you can come to the gallery and you can see wonderful work of art like Aldo Moroni, who
that's the artist you're featuring now?
That he is, and Aldo's really well known in the Twin Cities. He does a lot of public art as well as these smaller pieces.
And this wonderful metalwork, who does that?
Well, Frank does that.
Oh!
Frank does all the metalwork that you'll see around here, the fountains and the sculptures that blow in the wind, and the benches we're sitting on. He's glass and brass and copper mainly is what he works with.
So you and Frank have really been part of the rebirth of 13th Avenue.
I think we have. You know, we were the first gallery.
And what were the businesses that were in these buildings now?
Ah, that's an interesting story. What originally was in the building that we're sitting in or next to was the 2nd Street Pharmacy. And the upstairs was apartments and a dental office. We actually have some people who come in to go up to our apartment and say their knees start shaking because they remember having to go to the dentist.
So this metamorphosis was the old Dady's drugstore and the Pierre Bottineau Library, Light Shoes Insurance.
Right, yeah, the Pierre Bottineau Library Since 1956, that was the only public library for Northeast in this area, lower Northeast. Now they're just happy to be over at the old Greenbelt, and we're delighted to have taken over that space as a gallery.
And what was it that attracted you and Frank to 13th Avenue and to the Northeast Arts District?
Well, I have to give the Modern Cafe credit for that, because it's been here for a long time. Jim Grell started that. I don't know when, but I know that in '97 we came for breakfast one morning because somebody said it was a great restaurant. And we loved the neighborhood. We looked all around and we saw this building, which was not for sale then. We talked to a realtor who later called us and said, guess what? The Davies is, now for sale. We thought it was perfect for a showcase for Frank's work. And then we gradually started showing a lot of artists, because we have I think over 300, maybe even 400 artists in the Northeast area. And within this arts district, which we are now, we probably have artists living and working at least 200 to 300. The variety is great. We have painters, we have sculptors, metal workers, we have clay works. Any kind of art you want to find, you'll find it here in Northeast.
Lynn, can you tell us a little bit about the furniture store next door?
Movables.
Movables.
That's the name. Kendra Anderson came in there just 2 years ago and has done, not even 2 years actually, and has done an amazing job bringing in furniture that she either has purchased secondhand or it's consigned to her, but she has an eye. So she doesn't just buy any old secondhand furniture. She's very clever about it. And she also is an upholsterer. So she does she takes a beautiful piece of furniture and then redoes it in a fairly arty way. So it really fits in with this neighborhood. One of the things about this neighborhood, I think, is that it's very affordable. In that, for instance, our gallery hardly sells anything for over $1,000. And most of our artwork is, like Aldo's work here, is anywhere from $50, $100, and it goes up. But the same thing with movables. Her furniture walks out of here because her prices are so reasonable.
So it's a very economical place to get your goods and services.
It is indeed.
And fun people.
And with fun people, which is pretty unusual.
Okay.
The gallery and the courtyard are really a nice spot to stop or start in, either way, because you can go from here just a block down and you have your choice of 4 restaurants. You have your choice of whether you want to go to the theater down another block or so. You have your choice of other art galleries, and we even have a coffee shop just a block away.
The Matchbox Coffee Shop.
The Matchbox Coffee Shop, yeah, which used to be
the Mighty Fine Diner.
Exactly.
Channel 6 has been exploring 13th Avenue, and what a magic street 13th Avenue is. But there's nothing as magic as the Northeast Social Club. And Sam, you're one of the young stallions who have taken 13th Avenue and turned it around. Tell us what people can expect when they come into the Northeast Social Club.
Well, first, Mike, we appreciate the stallion because we really think we are. We're the pick of the litter over here as far as wanting to pursue excellence. We are a fresh farm to fork restaurant that essentially tries to use as many local farmers and ingredients that we possibly can. Being from the tundra in Minnesota here, it's a little difficult during the winter, so we've been able to kind of work our way around it. We brought in 400 pounds of heirlooms last week, and we could only use 100, so we took the 300 pounds, canned them, and now we're going to use those all the way through the winter. So we really want fresh, not only with the food, but with the vibe in here. We want people to come in. And we were talking earlier about, our social, where we ring the bell over here, and essentially.
Tell me what the tradition is behind the social and the bell ringing.
Well, it's my partner's father's dinner bell from when he grew up as a kid. So when his mom was ringing it back in the 20s, that's what he heard. That meant chow was on, and we use it for a little bit different. So.
And here he is. Here's Joe right here.
Hi. Say hi, Joe.
How you doing, guys?
So yeah, Joe's father's dinner bell when he was growing up, and so we kind of took it to the next level, not only for branding, but for an opportunity when people are coming in here to kind of unite not only the people that are guests, but our staff, so that the staff stays loose and that we're having a good time. And it's really worked, man.
And you told me a little story earlier today about a couple separate tables that didn't know each other, and then you did the social bell.
Yeah, we were lining up behind the bar, and we had a 4-top and a 2-top next to each other. And you know, everyone toasts the social, and these people toasted each other at the table. Went on, you know, getting to know each other throughout the night. And the next time they came in as a 6-top, which blew my mind, man. I mean, it's like I officially Nelson Mandela better watch out because my Nobel Peace Prize is on the way.
Joe, you know, what was it about 13th Avenue, Northeast Minneapolis that you found attractive?
Well, the people, really. I mean, Sam and I lived in Northeast now for about 6 or 7 years, and as soon as we moved to the area, we just fell in love with it. The people are so genuine, you know, and real up here, and you know, ever since we had this idea of creating something here on 13th and 4th, we just got great feedback from everyone in the neighborhood that said that, you know, 13th was a really special area already, but the addition of the social would just be a really welcome addition to the neighborhood. And so far, it's been really well received. I mean, we couldn't be happier with the turnout from the neighborhood, and then people now finding out about us, you know, in all neighborhoods in Minneapolis. So.
Sam, not only is there the Northeast Social Club on 13th Avenue, there's a lot of wonderful things to do in this magic street. What would you recommend for someone when they're thinking of planning a day down here?
Well, definitely plan on staying for a while when you're down here. And the best part about it is you can park your car at any point on 13th Avenue and just walk, and everything's within, you know, 10 minutes east to west. So you can, you know, feel like you're not, you know, having to, you know, move around in an area and drive from place to place. So it's fun like that. We have the theater right on the block here.
The Ritz Theater?
Ritz Theater, which brings in a lot of great shows, and on the flip side of that coin, brings in a lot of great people, so that it adds to our ambience here as well.
So the Ritz Theater is the home company is Ballet of the Dolls.
Correct. Yep, Ballet of the Dolls, and we get the head director and the writers in here all the time, and it makes for a fun atmosphere. Also on the block we have, you know, we chose not to do liquor. We chose to do wine and beer only, and that was a conscious choice because we really want people to check out the nightcap on the end of the block, go to the 331, stop by Airtay for a cocktail before you come in, you know, head down to the Anchor for a pint. I mean, it's just, there's so much going on, and the camaraderie on the block is that I painted the trim at the Anchor.
No kidding.
I painted the trim, and you know, we want.
You helped your competition.
Essentially, I mean, you know, but you know, the law of scarcity is something that's perpetrated by the devil, Mike. So I mean, there's plenty for everyone, and we just really kind of do the open arm policy. If we can be a good neighbor to someone, we're going to, and I think people really feed off that when they come in here. That feels real homey, you know. And it's also become a destination, which is something that we didn't plan. We planned on, you know, being for the local people in the area. What's happened over the year has been we got people coming in from Chaska, we got people coming in from way up north, we got people from Wisconsin. So it's great, man. And you know, Minneapolis St. Paul magazine said this is the coolest street in the Twin Cities, which I think lives up to that reputation.
And not only them, but the New York Times.
The New York Times as well. We don't talk about that because our head gets a little bit bigger and bigger every time we do. So
okay, great.
We're humble people here.
Well, I'm here to keep your head small. Thanks, Sam. Great. So we have two young ladies here on a beautiful Saturday night on 13th Avenue. Could you give us your name and what you like about Northeast?
I'm Chintu, and I really love Northeast because, of course, a lot of my friends live here, so I love to hang out here. But then, of course, there's this cool arts community here, and I'm also an artist, so I feel a lot of creative energy that's here with all this really vibrant, creative people. That's one big reason. And then there's also a lot of really great restaurants like the Northeast Social.
Carolyn, we don't have to introduce you. We're friends.
We go way back.
Creativity. Chintu mentioned the creativity of Northeast.
Oh yeah, you know, we are spoiled rotten in this city with how many galleries we have, all the art studios we have in Northeast. There's so much going on, it's hard to keep up with.
So on a night like this, it's a beautiful summer night, what's your favorite thing to do here on 13th Avenue?
Well, I guess I do like to walk around the area. There's always a lot of people down here. I like the 331 a whole lot. They have a nice patio outside. It's just a really beautiful area.
Feels very comfortable here.
Yeah, it's really laid back. There isn't a lot of like car traffic. It's a lot of walking and biking, and it's really laid back and nice.
I do think that in this one strip of road, you actually get restaurants, you get art galleries, you get salons, you have the Ritz Theater. So you kind of get a microcosm of like all these different things coming together, which I think is...
Chintu, you mentioned you're an artist. What medium do you work in?
The most common medium which I use is acrylic and oil on canvas, painting. That's what I do, but I also do mixed media, and I've been just experimenting with different kinds of media here and there.
Chintu just recently had a piece in the Rogue Buddha, which is a gallery just over here by the Ritz.
Tell us a little bit about the Rogue Buddha Gallery.
So I recently had a piece that was shown at the Rogue Buddha Gallery, and I find it very interesting. It's owned by an artist, Nicholas Harper, and I really love his art as well. I do think it is very encouraging to have this gallery here because it is brings in a lot of the local artists as well as artists from other parts of the U.S. to show it here. So it is quite an eclectic gallery, adding a lot to this neighborhood. Yeah.
And Carolyn, before you go, I know that you're the hula hoop artist of Northeast. Have you done any hula hoop shows lately?
Not lately, no. Except on your show, maybe.
So when I go down 2nd Street by Botano Park, there's no more hula hooping?
I'll bring it back. We'll get the whole block going.
Okay, great, thanks. Say, I'm going to grab Willie Willette here. Willie, your claim to fame is your work with the Modern Cafe.
That's true. About, I think, 10 years ago, Patty and Jim Grell commissioned us to do the tables in the bar. And quite frankly, I think it is the linchpin for the success of this intersection. I think we're responsible.
And what is it about the creativity of Northeast that draws so many people here?
Actually, there's a lot of truth to that statement. The housing prices 15 years ago started drawing a lot of arts people to the area. The reuse of a lot of the structures. Northrop King has been a great resource for a lot of artists. That's become a mecca for a lot of local artists and has actually laid the blueprint for other places in town that have copied that idea that artists can pay rent, and if given a fair square deal, they do. Right. So it's been the interesting, but now with hindsight, not surprising collusion of need and want have come together in Northeast really well and created a great environment for artists.
And I saw you shaking your head about the Northrop. So the fact that artists have a real infrastructure here?
And it's an infrastructure that remains stable, so that consumers know that they can always go there. So First Thursdays introduce so many consumers to the whole artistry behind Northeast, and then you know that they're there, so that anytime you think, oh, I'm in the market for something new, or I just want to stretch my legs intellectually, you can always go to Northrop King and you can find artists who are just constantly going to be there. So it's been so nice to have that. I mean, you use the word linchpin, but it's really nice to have that as a foundation for artistry in Northeast that's just constantly there and that consumers can count on.
And of course, the show place is Art-A-Whirl.
Art-A-Whirl is one of the show places. For me, it's gotten too big because I can't visit all my friends in one day. Now it takes 3 days because you've got Casket Arts, you've got the California building. You've got a lot of areas now where it used to be 5 or 6 studios that have to hit. Now you have to hit like 60 to see all your friends. So really a good thing.
A good problem to have.
Yes.
Really, right?
So
Art-A-Whirl
is just
skyrocketed. Oh yeah, you clear your weekend, you don't go out of town then. You know, if you've got friends in town, you definitely have to bring them there. It's so much fun. You just get to show off all that's happening in Northeast and then often pick up some real deals on the way.
2, 3, hey!